A multi-layer cloth roof offers a number of benefits over a hard shell. It's lighter, so the center of gravity remains low, and it takes up much less space when down. Have we forgotten how to have fun? Even putting politics and a worldwide pandemic aside, it seems like it. Using the automobile as a barometer, people have flocked to practical SUVs and crossovers. Sports cars and convertibles are becoming rare. That makes the new Lexus LC 500 convertible a gift to humanity in so many ways. To begin, it's a drop top, yay for that. Also, the engine note is like a Wagner symphony. There's no badge crowing that this car is motivated by a normally aspirated 5-liter V8 that's tucked into a nose larger than most home lots in San Francisco. It's the only engine it gets. Now, before I get into that, let's cover the top. It lowers in just 15 seconds. Add an extra second to raise it. The temperature inside the cabin is set automatically and takes into account whether the top is open or closed, including the heated steering wheel and a vent that blows warm air on your neck. If you've never driven a convertible, they connect you to the world in a way that closed cars can't. There are sights and smells you don't normally get. Wind management, it's pretty good in the LC. We're talking 471 horsepower, 398 pound-feet of torque, and the kind of soundtrack the LS's turbocharged V6 just can't offer, making the LC kind of special. Rear drive, the LC has a Torsen limited slip differential option. The 10-speed automatic transmission, not a dual clutch, gets joystick control. Manual shifting, yes, and these magnesium paddles, wings really, feel great. There are drive modes with adjustable dampers. There's a noticeable difference when venturing into the sport modes. Figure the LC Coupe's V8 fuel economy average is a full third lower than the hybrid, but at a starting price of $102,000, convertible owners really won't care about that. A 60-mile-an-hour sprint takes 4.6 seconds in the convertible, and it feels soul-satisfying in that smooth V8 way. What a great grand touring vehicle this would be. Okay, the trunk is a little bit small, but there's always the back seat for suitcases if you need that. It's powerful, it's comfortable with the top up, it's quiet. I've got the air scarf going on, my neck is toasty warm. Imagine going cross-country in this. That would be a nice distraction from the craziness these days. The chassis structure is steel ingot solid, due in part to a cast aluminum brace in the rear that restores rigidity lost when lopping off the solid roof. Engineers that I spoke to said the LC was designed from the get-go as a ragtop. The suspension gets unique tuning from the coupe version. The rear setup is substantially different, with a reshaped and relocated suspension brace tower. That's where your money's going. There's road feel coming up through the steering wheel. Pushed briskly, this car obeys everything a driver asks without a hitch. Venture into track-level shenanigans, and there's going to be some understeer. Brakes are good, not track grade, but that's not the kind of car this is meant to be. The transmission is the typical Lexus triple Teflon smoothness. You won't notice it at all. It's always in the right gear. This is the way a gearbox should be. Think it should have a dual clutch? Lexus engineers point to the new driving dynamic that they've set for the brand, which is best described as comfortable but engaging, sharper than Lexus of old, but never harsh. Even with 21-inch wheels, big bumps are fairly well shrugged off. The interior that you're looking at has the $5,300 touring package graced upon it. That means the front seat leather is semi-aniline and the headrests get embossing. It adds 13-speaker, 915-watt Mark Levinson sound. The touring package includes Climate Concierge that automates seat and steering wheel heating, and that's important since you have to dig into the user interface to adjust those. There are no dedicated buttons. This large grab handle adds to a feeling where the cockpit envelops driver and passenger somewhat individually. It all looks spectacular, if not on the snug side. Not much in the way of generous storage. Watch your wallet if you open the doors quickly. Even the glove box is on the petite side, and if you like coffee in large thermal mugs, good luck with that. The gauge cluster is a little small compared to big virtual screens in other luxury cars. Same with the head-up display. Cargo room is not exactly massive in the fixed roof LC, so don't expect anything different here. At 3.4 cubic feet, it's not just 2 less than the coupe, it's significantly smaller than a Miata's trunk, and this is 33 inches longer. Just saying. Obviously, Lexus chose styling over packaging efficiency, so let's look at design. Any LC is drawn up beautifully and doesn't chase other brands' design language. It's unmistakably Lexus with one of the best applications of the spindle grille to date. Same goes for the lightning bolt headlights, which are LED. With a front suspension significantly different from the LS sedan, the hood line gets lowered, giving the two-door a long, slinky silhouette. Sonically and visually, this is a beautiful machine and a magnificent way to stuff some fun into life. Not overly practical, the Lexus LC500 convertible radiates luxury while bringing the world around it inside.